Hey, Christoph here. I wanted to talk about what I call an experience revision, I guess, of the first user experience, first chapter of Saving Satoshi. So the development's moving forward, things are becoming more polished, we're getting more feedback, people are interested in letting us know what's working, what's not working for them. And this feedback often tends to be kind of spread all over the place a little bit. So what I did here was take all of the screens that a person who lands on the website and makes it through chapter 1 basically sees in the different states. And by having all of those on one screen that we can browse and discuss together, where we all see the same thing, it's much easier than, let's say, clicking on the website and saying, oh, can you please go to that second part on the first challenge of chapter 2 and type this in, and then what do you see? Does it work? It's just a mess. So it's easier if we have it all here. So the way I look at it is that I didn't include the homepage here, but basically someone's decided to start. So they've only seen the homepage, and now they get here and they decide they want to dig in. So this is kind of, they start understanding the story a little bit here. They read this text, they see this image, they have a certain, the shapes they're framing already, and then they press start chapter 1. Then they get this introduction, and this text and image is not correct, but I'm just talking about the sequence here. So there's a little bit more text, there's an image here, they dive a little bit deeper into the story, then they press start, and it actually begins. Our first challenge is this one, where we need to go to block 0 and copy paste something. So I changed the text up here to be a little bit more specific. It has much more specific explanations on exactly what the user should be doing, keeping it very simple. Then the user clicks here, pastes the value, and in this case here they start typing something, and this is not accurate, which we tell them down here. And I was also thinking maybe we could have a subtle highlight on things that the user should be doing, but maybe is not doing at the moment. So instead of just start typing in, we want to point them towards, you should be pressing this button here. How about you do that? So then the user goes and they copy it, and then they paste the value. They instantly get this response. It's green, nicely done, awesome. We could also then disable the view block 0 button and put this type of highlight on the next button here. And I was wondering if after the very first challenge, if we should already give them a bit of a congratulations and also use the text below to drive them right into the next one. We don't have this screen today, I think. So now this one, there was a lot of feedback on this one, and I think this is it's all about the detail here, using the right text and making it really fun and playful and kind of interactive. So something that's been missing here is that for feedback that has come in was about this script hex value here, where the user gets that from, that they actually understand that they should replace this with the value from the previous thing that they did, which was already a couple screens ago, so they don't really know it anymore. So my proposal would be that everything they need to do in this challenge is copy this, paste it in here, and press enter. Very, very simple, just to kind of get them into the flow of things. And here in the top right, I changed the text that says enter your commands here. The variable script sighex is already defined for you. Where script sighex, blah, blah, blah. Maybe you recognize it, maybe not. So all you need to do is copy, paste, press enter. Very simple. And then the next time we can, for the second time they decode a message, maybe then we ask them to replace this value. So here, if somebody wants help, they type in something that's incorrect, we give them that feedback directly, which we don't today, we simply just don't say anything. If there's a common error that people are likely to do, we should give very specific feedback. So I mocked up an example here. So in here, the person copied a value from the Block Explorer that is actually, it's not the right one, it's right above the one that we want. So we highlight it, and then we tell the person, take another look at the Block Explorer a little bit further down. So we can give them very specific messages instead of a generic, you're wrong type of deal. Let's see. Okay, so we have help, we have the tips, we have tooltips. We give people tips by trying to have good error messages. Okay, then I type in the correct thing. It tells me decoding. Maybe this is animated a little bit. I know it just takes a split second, but maybe we can just have it think here for a second. And then we get this result message, what the script actually put out. That replaces kind of the thinking line. And then in here directly, we show a little bit of a message, a little bit more information that then moves us back into the story. Okay. We could decide whether we want another congratulatory screen here. This also depends a little bit if we have story to connect, which we can do there. There was also feedback around using these boxes. This is like, I've done this with my son before. There are various coding languages. One is called, not Scribble, Scratch is the one. It's really good. You just kind of drag in these little blocks to piece together the right command. I'm not sure that it worked that well for us right here. It could, but I feel like we have to look ahead a little bit and look at chapter 2, 3, 4, 5, see what kind of coding challenges we have and see if this is something that will work there still, because let's say we introduce this interactive system, we only use it, again, it's coding-wise it's fairly complex, the drag and drop. We introduce that and then we only use it for one challenge. It would, I don't know if it would make sense. I honestly don't know, but I think it's a really good thing to think about. Okay, so the next one, I also rewrote the copy here to be a bit more precise. Like, there was this transaction ID here, which it doesn't even say for the following transaction, and there's a long string, doesn't even explain what it is. So basically just got rid of that and made the text a little bit more direct. Then I already explained this for proper error message, and then the same thing as before, you type in the right thing and you move on. And the same thing here for the second part of decoding. And here you can see that I put in text up here that says, note that script.px is not defined for you this time. You will have to replace it in the code. And this value can, you can go back to the transaction here on the left. Like, need to look this up again? Here you go. Or if you really can't figure it out, then there's always a tip at the bottom that basically gives you the answer. So I would just keep the first ones very, very, very simple and just add a little bit of complexity at every step. Because I think it's going to get complex pretty quickly anyways. So user types is in, get a nice message, and then we have these full screen chapter completion visuals and templates, and that will take us then into chapter 2. So, I feel like I think there's still visuals, interaction, copy, everything to tweak here. But to me personally, I don't know about you, for me personally, this format of mapping out all of the screens and all of the different states like this makes everything just a lot easier to think through and figure out if it's the right thing that we should be doing. So hope it's helpful. Let me know what you think. And ideally we could use this together as a group to figure out what we want this experience to be like. So thanks.